Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to another fantastic day out there. Today, we're watching and talking with another episode of Life After KCPS, Life in the Real World. My name is Chris Odam, and I've been lucky to get to interview some people here in our district who have come from our schools. And this young lady, I'm told, was kind of in the getting ready stages as I was working at Paseo, and then unfortunately, I took another position and went off, and I never got to have Nakiyah, who's joining us today, in my creative writing class, but I'm told by her this morning she was looking forward to it. But I do know that after I left Paseo and took this position, that a lot of arts continued on. You know, it wasn't by any means something because I was there. It was just that I was so fortunate to get to witness and hear all the wonderful artists. So we're joined this morning by a pretty recent graduate of high school. Some of the people I've interviewed have been way backs, you know, like back when I had hair and things like that. So Nakiyah didn't know me with hair, I don't think. No, you never knew me with hair. So let's do this. Wind it back to us to way back there to 2019, which is when you graduated, right? And
yes.
Tell us what you remember about 2019. What was special about it? Or what did you kind of do that you think gave you some ideas about what was next?
Well, I went to the Manual Technical Career Center. Half of my schedule, I was in EMT. And as I was in that class, I realized that's not what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something in the medical field. So I knew I was going to go to college, but I didn't know which college. So as my senior year, I'm applying to colleges, and I applied to KC Scholars, but I did not originally win. They came back and let me know that I was going to be a UMKC KC Scholar, and that's what let me know that I was going to college, and that I went on from there.
Fantastic. So initially you weren't a recipient, but you did get a KC Scholars scholarship. And I know that I know that organization and some of the people that are part of that. So that's really exciting. I also remember when students were presented that, they kind of surprise and show up in the school and say, guess what? Here's a giant scholarship. So, well, you started our path. What happened after you got this scholarship?
I started my process for UMKC, like the orientations, meeting with KC Scholars, and just getting a feel for my college. And I am a commuter. I do not live on campus. I live at home with my mom. Just because it's cheaper, it's more cost efficient. It's safer now that COVID had hit. Like, it was my first year when COVID came about. So we were transitioning back to home, no in-person classes. So college was a little different for me. It started like everybody else, and then it changed.
Yeah, for sure. So you had a little taste of what we might call the real experience before COVID kind of turned it into everybody go home and have college life, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wow. So what did you experience in before COVID that you, I guess, called the real experience? What parts of college do you remember, you know, that you were getting into, or that were part of it, making it less like high school, more like college? What do you think?
So going to class whenever, like picking my own classes that worked by my time, going to campus when I wanted to, even as late as night, like midnight, you can study at midnight on campus. I think that was something really cool. Lunch and food is served all day. It's not, cut off. You can always eat. We have Chick-fil-A. We have good food. We have good things to choose from.
Yeah.
I like it interacting with other people and meeting new people. Although I didn't never see them again, but I liked it meeting new people every day.
Yeah, that's neat. I was reminiscing because I also went to UMKC, 3 different degrees I have from UMKC. However, when I started there wasn't a lot of college life on campus. Most people, like you said, were all commuters and lived kind of in the neighborhood or kind of even on other state line. But there really wasn't a central place to everybody go and group, or there certainly wasn't a Chick-fil-A, there wasn't a Whole Foods, right? There was just kind of like one Chinese restaurant there on 51st Street. That was it. And so you don't know that one, but that's what UMKC was like for quite a while, and was seen as kind of a commuter college. Like if you wanted to have the other experience, you'd go to KU or you'd go to Mizzou or something. But I think we deserve it right here in the middle of our city to have that real college experience. So that's so neat that you were part of it. kind of the new version, not so much the old version.
Right.
Okay. So you're over there now. You're doing that kind of college path as we speak.
Yes, it's my 3rd year.
Okay.
Yes.
How's it been going? Tell us a little bit about it. Like, is it a struggle? Is it more of a challenge than you thought it would be?
It was definitely more of a challenge than I thought it would be at first, because I felt like I came from KCPS and other people came from surrounding schools, and it seemed like they were catching on faster than me. Like, they were getting the information and receiving it faster, and I felt like I wasn't. So I had to take like extra resources like tutoring, supplemental instruction, things like that, just to get my feet wet into college. So
Gotcha.
I had to do extra work from KCPS, like the AP classes and stuff. Like, it didn't really help. It helped me know things, but it didn't help me maneuver through college.
Right. The workload's different, and the amount of managing your time is different, I would imagine. And there's a lot more work. Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot more
And
work.
it's very more intense.
Yeah, but it's all worth it, right? I mean, you have to get
Right.
you are you more used to that amount of work now than when you started?
Yes, when I started, I was a biology major. Then I realized that was not for me. I wasn't getting anything, and I also just didn't like it. So I'm now a psychology major. This is my 2nd semester or 3rd semester in psychology, and I just love it. I love everything. I'm taking French, I'm taking psychology, I'm taking criminal justice, and I'm also taking a Black intro to study.
Fantastic. Yeah, I took a ton of psychology myself, stuff I didn't have to have for my major. I took extra things, which really helped prepare me when I went into education, because I really was interested in the mind. And so that leads me to wonder about what you're going to do with this psychology background. Like, what are your plans or goals for when you complete your degree?
I'm thinking about either something with law, like a criminal justice, or something with medical, like pathology, or just something like with medical or law. I'm just stuck in between the two, so I'm going to apply for both.
So you're going to go for lots more school.
Yes.
You're just getting
Yes.
you're just getting started. Then you're going to be in school for a long time. Very
Yes.
good. Okay. Well, that's an exciting and powerful thing to hear you dedicate to. Did you always feel like college was in your future?
I feel like I was going to go, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to go for and then how I was going to pay for it exactly.
Gotcha. So the scholarship really kind of green lighted you to just do this. Yeah.
Yes, it just made me go for it. Like,
Fantastic. Okay. Well, then we've kind of perfectly come around to kind of the final parts of these interviews, and it seems natural to ask you, what would you tell young people then, based on what you've learned or what you've experienced, after KCPS, that you think they need to hear or could benefit from your wisdom, being just a few years ahead of them? Is there anything you could kind of think back and share to that younger person that you just finished being a few years ago, right?
yes, I would say most definitely work hard through high school so it'll pay off in college. You won't have to work so hard in college. I would also say if you want to go to college or if you're interested in going to college, make sure that it's for you. Make sure that it's something that you're going to want to do, that you're going to dedicate yourself to, and just want to follow through with. Don't just do it because it's cool and it just sounds fun and you're looking forward to the experience. Make sure that you're looking forward to something after college. And if you don't want to go to college, just do something with your time. Don't just sit around and don't do anything and let your life pass you.
Gotcha. Very good advice. Yeah, because then you get older and you might wonder, what could I have done? And it just, you don't get to rewind and try to go back and do all those again. But also, there are lots of years. So if you don't know right off, you might be right that in the old days, we just went into college and went into major debt and kind of said, whatever, I'll figure it out when I get there. I heard I have to have one of these things. And
Yeah.
there's a number of people from a few generations ago that are probably going to spend a long time paying for that, whether they used it or not. So it's good advice to really think about why you're going and how it's going to turn into something after that so you can pay for it, for sure. Right? Very good.
Yes.
Good advice. Well, thank you, Nakiyah. I wish you all the luck, and excited to interview a current student, because I can kind of feel your joy for lack of a better word, your smile and your excitement as you talk about school. I think that's fantastic. Are you finding that other people around you are noticing that, you seem like you're excited about school or on a path?
Yes, I'm still in contact with a lot of friends from Paseo, and they ask me like, dang, you're still doing that, or like, wow, you're almost done. Like, yes, because it was just 3 years ago we were finishing high school.
Yeah.
Time passed.
Yep. Oh, let me tell you, if I can go back to the people I graduated with, which was quite a while ago, a lot of them are just, yeah, have done some unbelievable things in that amount of time. Just remarkable. So it is really fun to catch up and reminisce. And hopefully, students, if you're listening, you can see, Nakiyah has given you yet another thing to think about as you plot and plan your own path. And I think her advice is really strong. And we remember that, that time in your life, it seems like you have to decide and just know what to do, but you really have some time. You just really have to make sure you're thinking about it and not letting it kind of catch up on you by postponing those thoughts, right, for a long time. So I hope that helps you students out there in KCPS and anybody out there feel a little inspired. Thank you, Nakiyah, for your awesome story and your fantastic inspiration. Keep in touch. We'll want to know when you're out there doing your thing. We'll hear about that next, right? So,
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Kansas City, for listening this morning. I'm Chris Odam. This has been Life After KCPS.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.